welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about an important topic, that is gymnosperms. Gymnosperm was used by first of all by Theophrastus, who is also known as the father of botany. He used this word in his book Inquiry into Plants. He used this term to include all those plants whose sheaths are unprotected, that is, they are the naked seeded plants, as its word itself derives us about the naked seed, where it is obtained from the two Greek words. First is the gymnos, which means naked, sperma, that is seeds. So it includes the plants that develops its seeds without ovary, that is they are naked, that is they are not enclosed within a fruit wall. The ovules remain exposed before and after fertilization and before developing seeds. According to Goebel, the gymnosperms are the phanerogames without the ovary, as the ovules are directly born on the surface of megasporophyll and the fruit does not cover the seeds. It is the same thing. So gymnosperms are the most ancient seed plants that were originated during the late Paleozoic era, and they are known as the dominant flora of the earth in the Mesozoic era. The study of the gymnosperm is called gymnospermology, where the smallest gymnosperm is the Zamia pygmea. It is a tiny cycad which is reaching only about 25 centimeter in height. So you can see the image of Zamia pygmea here. Likewise, talking about the tallest gymnosperm, it is the Sequoia sempervirens, which is about 115 meter in height, which is found in the Redwood Park of the California, USA. So this is the image of the Sequoia sempervirens. Talking about its diversity, there are 900 living species of gymnosperm, among which in Nepal there is 26 species of gymnosperm known so far. Talking about the living fossils, they are the Cycas, Metasequoia, and the Ginkgo biloba. These are the examples of living fossils. So these living fossils are the organisms that have remained largely unchanged in the form and structure over extremely long geological periods, which are often resembling the species known only for the fossil record, while its close relatives are usually extinct. They are most living fossils under the gymnosperm is one. This is the Cycas plant. This is the living fossil. This is another living fossil known as Metasequoia. And this is the Ginkgo biloba, which is also known as the living fossils. It has a great history that even at the period of when dinosaurs were available, at that time this Ginkgo biloba was also there. Even after so much material force, even the dinosaurs has extincted, but it has been able to survive till today. Even the Hiroshima Nagasaki bomb blast around 1 to 2 kilometer areas, they were again able to sprout back, and they were survived at that time as well. And another interesting thing is that one of the researchers have found that the Ginkgo biloba's leaf structures are able to provide an sharp memory, the brain increaser. If we take some leaves of it with in form of decoction or as tea, it enhances the memory power. It is also shown in the research. Now, talking about its habitat, where it is found, they are usually found in the boreal and the temperate forest of colder regions where the snowfall occurs. However, the plants of cycadales and the nettles thrive also in the warm, dry climates. And another is the oldest form, that is the Pinus longiva, that is the Bristol cone pine, which can live for over 4,800 years. And the image you can see of Pinus longivia. This is the Pinus longivia, which is the oldest known gymnosperm that can survive up to 4,800 years. Talking about its phylogenetic position, they are considered to be the bridge between the pteridophytes, that is the vascular but seedless plant, and the angiosperm, that is the vascular with the enclosed seeds. Now let's move to the Characteristics of gymnosperms, they are the group of the plants that produce the seeds not enclosed within the ovary or the fruit. So they are called obviously the neck-seeded plants, which is already known from the its formation of the two Greek words, the gymnos and sporma, that means the neck-seeded plants, and it is a well-developed sporophytic body which is differentiated into the root, stem, and leaf, and they do not contain the dew flowers. The seeds are not formed inside the fruit; they are naked. They are also found in the colder regions, mainly where the snowfall occurs, and they are perennial or the woody forming trees or bushes, and they are not differentiated into the ovary, style, and stigma. Since the stigma is absent, they are pollinated directly by the wind, and this type of cases is known as the anemophilous type of pollination, that is with the help of wind. And the male gametes produce two gametes, but only one of them is functional, and they form cones as the reproductive structures. The seed contains the endosperm that stores food for the growth and development of the plant. As in the gymnosperm there is absence of ovary, so the nutritive tissue here functions for helping the embryo to grow is endosperm. So the seeds of gymnosperms are endospermic. And talking about the vascular system, it has the xylem and phloem. Inside the xylem it contains the tracheids, but it lacks the vessels, and there is an exception that vessels is present in the natum, which is under the order Nettles. The Nettles order includes the natum that has vessels, but usually they lack vessel in case of gymnosperms. And talking about the phloem, it contains the sheath cells, but the companion cells are also absent. So you have to remember, students, that in case of gymnosperm, it lacks of vessels and companion cells, with an exception that the natum has vessels. And talking about its root system, it is generally taproot. The specialized roots are found, that is the coralloid roots in case of cycas, which are associated with the nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. And the interesting thing is that the coralloid roots are negatively geotropic, that is and that is just opposite to the normal roots, which are actually positively geotropic, and this is that is the upward growth. Actually, as the roots are naturally grown downward, that is positively geotropic. In case of coralloid root, there is the upward growth towards the soil surface. This is contradictory to the downward growth of normal roots. Likewise, another interesting is it has dichotomous branching. The roots repeatedly repeatedly fork, that is into two equal branches, creating a coral like structure. And its important thing is that these clusters contain a green zone inside the cortex, where the cyanobacteria like the anabiana or the nostoc live, which helps the plant for fixing the atmospheric nitrogen. And next one is the mycorrhizal roots, that is found in the pinus, that is it is associated with the fungi to help in the water or mineral absorption. Now, talking about his stem, it can be unbranched. Like you can see, it is unbranched in case of cycas, but it is branched in case of pinus, cedars, etc. Talking about its wood, there is two type of wood that is found in gymnosperm. The first one is the monoxylic wood, which is soft, porous, with a large pith and wide rays. Example, cycas. Likewise, in case of pinus, there is pycnoxylic wood, which is comparatively hard, compact wood with the small pith, narrow rays, which is also known as the softwood, and which can be utilized in furnitures as well. And usually, in case of leaves, there are dimorphic leaves in case of gymnosperm. That is, one type is the foliage leaf, and another is the scaly leaves, or the also known as scaly leaves are also known as cataphyls. And the foliage leaves are actually, as we know, that it is xerophytic. Gymnosperms are the xerophytic plants. For its survival in that kind of conditions, the green leafy structures are converted in the needle-like foliages, which is for to reduce the water loss, and they are actually pinnately compound normally, like in case of cycas. And needle-like leaves can be an example of pinus as well, where the scaly leaves or the cataphyls are the structures which are found in actually the shoots of plants, which are small and brown in color, and its function is for the protection, likewise storage of water sometimes around the branches or the shoots. And likewise the sporophylls are spirally arranged along an axis to form a compact cone or the strobili, that is male or the pollen cones are and the female or the seed cones instead of flowers there is cones. And but in case of cycles the female cone called lax is loosely arranged. Talking about its fertilization, it is syphnogamous, that is the male gametes are carried to the female gametes by the means of pollen tube. This kind of fertilization is called syphnogamous. Here the double fertilization is absent in case of gymnosperm, but it is found in ephedra like in angiosperm. So this is also an exception. This is an important point for you to remember, students. In case of competitive exams, it can be an important question for you in case of objective questions. So likewise, these plants are heterosporous. That is, they produce two kinds of spores, that is microspores and megaspores. Here the male cones carry or bear the microsporophylls on which the microsporangia are born, and while in case of female cones they bear the megasporophyll on which the megasporangia are born. And likewise the microspores lead to the microsporangia leads to the formation of microspores, which is also known as the pollen grains, and the megasporangia are born from which female spores are obtained, that is megaspores are obtained. And since the stigma is absent, the pollination is anemophilous, which has already told I have already told you at the above, as it is wind pollinated, and that the pollen grains directly reach the tip of the nucellus instead of stigma. They are dioecious or the monoecious. The gymnosperms are both dioecious or monoecious. It means that the male and the female cones are present in the different plant, like in case of cycas, and monoecious is in case of pinus, where the long shoot has the female cone and the short shoot has the male cone. This has the female cone and short shoot has the male cone. So this kind of thing is the monoecious plant. That is the pinus, and the dioecious is the cycas, where the male and the female plant is different. And the sexual reproduction is of oogamous type. Obviously, it means that the male gametes are motile, that reaches to the female gametes which are immotile. And after the fertilization, the embryo development is meroblastic, that is develops from a small part of the zygote, and the ovules are ultimately transformed into seeds. And in most members, it shows polyembryony. So polyembryony is common in gymnosperm, that is development of more than one embryo, but only one survives at the end. So this is a survival strategy of the gymnosperm. And the seeds are naked, which contain endospermic seed that stores for the growth and the development of the plant. Likewise, cotyledons are 2 in case of cycas, and there are many cotyledons in case of pinus, that may be from 2 to 14. So these are the general characteristics of gymnosperm, and in the next part of the video you will see or discuss about the types of gymnosperm and life cycle and so on. Thank you for watching. If you like or understand my teaching style, then you can just subscribe my channel. You can comment down if you want any topic that can be explained by me. You can share the videos for your friends who are wanting to know about gymnosperms characters in details. See you in the next video. Have a good day. Good night.